Hi, my name is Debbie Cupo, floral designer of Maine Wreath and Flower in Freeport, and I'm going to be your host today as we show you some remarkable properties here in Maine. This is the first of a series for the Maine Association of Realtors. Today, First Lady Karen Baldacci will be giving us a tour of the Blaine House and two of her favorite places, the gardens and the greenhouse. Come join me for this tour of the Blaine House.
Well, Debbie, this is the sunroom at the Blaine House, and probably downstairs it's one of my favorite rooms, and the obvious one is being a gardener, having the outlook over the grounds. The specific details of this room, there's a lot of stories to be shared. I mean, this house is 177 years old. We've had roughly about 20 families that lived here, and all of them have kind of left a little bit of their family life as they've left. This specific room has a piano, for instance, in the corner, which has a needlepoint done by Helen Longley. We do also have a needlepoint in the hallway by John McKernan's mother, Barbara McKernan. And if you look around the details of the room, for instance, the hanging drapes matching the pillows are all a floral and vine design. This actually was designed by John Calvin Stevens, the noted Portland architect, in 1919 when the house was turned over from the Blaines to the state of Maine as a residence for governors. He was hired to enclose this, which was then a porch, into a sunroom. Explains the tile flooring that are here. And then it really made itself with an exposure to the sun, the southern exposure here, full sun during the day, which is one of my favorite rooms to come into.
It's beautiful. I can certainly understand why.
And they tried to tie in, you know, obviously the fabrics and furnishings of it belong to the State of Maine Museum. It's all archives, and it is a museum, collectible pieces, but they tried to design the pieces and collection that were here in 1919. The house in the picture actually exists currently to this day on Peaks Island in Peaks, Maine.
Peaks Island. Casco Bay.
Yes.
That's lovely.
Yeah. And to the left is a gold finish wood box, which is there. And all of these are antique chairs, the couches, the settees and tables. And in some of the other rooms you can see the mirrors of the age where women used to check their petticoat mirrors that were low to the floor. And the Priscilla Turner rug is a Maine original. It used to manufacture in Lewiston, Maine. And the Friends of the Blaine House are actually replacing this rug. The fireplace is wonderful in the winter when it's nice and cold outside. You can turn a fire on and have a nice cozy fire here to read a book or have a cup of tea by, for sure.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now this room is where you and your family have your dinners. Is this correct?
Absolutely. It's hence the room of the family dining room here at the Blaine House. And again, it has its own stories to share in here. It is a nice cozy spot with open windows out to the garden. Former families that have used this house, lived in this house, you know, different stories that we shared. So when we had the 175th anniversary, because it's 177 years now, we invited back the former families.
Oh,
so they all
wonderful.
came with their stories to share of different aspects, whether it's the widow's look on the roof or the bomb shelter in the basement, their favorite rooms, their favorite stories, and it was a great sharing of that.
Wow, that's great. This is a wonderful room. Thank you for sharing it. Well, certainly we're in one of your favorite places, the greenhouse, but let's talk about your gardens. I see that you have a layout here. Tell us a little bit more about how those all came about.
We have a nice little map. If you visit the house, ask for it because it gives you the background and for the true gardeners that want those Latin terms and names of all the plants that are out there. And it is seasonal. As the seasons change, new plantings, especially in the inner-shaped L beds, those are exchangeable. But we do work with Steve Jones in Vassalboro, who works with the students at Coney High School, the community involvement, who grow the annuals. And we work with the Kennebec Valley Garden Club, who actually come in the second week of June-ish to plant those annuals.
Now, I understand that on the four corners, that represents the four seasons. Is that correct?
Yes. It's a wonderful garden as you follow it through the seasons with color, and not only color, having color throughout the season, but the fragrance. August or September, everything is usually in full bloom and full fragrance. And, you know, the birds are around, and it's truly a wonderful hidden secret garden.
Oh, I bet it is.
I'm out here every morning with a cup of tea and the dogs, and the dogs are me and Sam, if I didn't introduce them already, working in the greenhouse. We have, it was privately funded. We have raised beds, we have cold frames, there's a vegetable garden.
And you've already got things started.
I
notice here that you have.
You know, here we are mid-March, so I've, you know, outside the cold stuff, the spinach and the lettuces are in, and the radishes and the Swiss chard will follow soon. In here we started, you know, the onion family. There are many different varieties here. You know, the eggplant and the peppers are in. I'm dying to get to my tomatoes for the time being. You know, the violas, the pansies.
Well, the environment in here is very conducive. Things look very good, and they're going.
Another season.
Another season. Yes, it looks wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing this room and your gardens with us. It's just wonderful. We can't wait to see all of it come into bloom.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We want to thank you for joining us on this tour of the Blaine House, and we want to thank the First Lady, Karen Baldacci, for inviting us into her home.